Welcome everybody, my name is Dave Schmitz, ResistanceBandTraining.com, and I'd like to introduce you to the B.A.R. Yeah, the B.A.R is an engineered and tested attachment site that you can now use to do any kind of attached band training. It was specifically designed to be used in both homes and training facilities, and it was specifically designed to be used with flat continuous loop bands. Let me take a moment to go ahead and point out some of the features of the B.A.R. so that you understand exactly why it's going to be the perfect attachment site for any type of training. First of all, you're going to notice that the B.A.R is approximately 48 inches in length. We chose 48 inches to provide us the most surface possible to attach the band onto. With it being 48 inches from top tip to tip, it provides us 35 inches of actual training surface to attach the band onto. That's significant because that length of surface area, when the B.A.R is placed in a vertical position, is going to allow individuals that are 5'4" all the way up to 6'4" to easily be able to train with the B.A.R. Now that doesn't mean if you're taller or shorter than that you can't use the B.A.R. It just means that we tried to go ahead and position the B.A.R in a perfect length that would adapt to the general population in regards to height. The next thing you're going to go ahead and notice is the B.A.R is 1 inch in diameter. 1 inch in diameter is what we've found to be the perfect diameter to go ahead and attach the band onto. It's going to provide little stress to the band because it's not too narrow, but yet it's not so wide that it's going to go ahead and stick out when you put it into your training facility or your home. 1 inch is the perfect diameter to go ahead and attach a band onto. You're also going to notice that the B.A.R is very low profile. And what I mean by that is when the B.A.R is placed up against the wall like ours is here, you're going to notice that there's about a 1 inch separation between the wall and the B.A.R. That's important because not only is that going to make it still easy for you to get the band attached around the B.A.R, slide it in between the wall and the B.A.R, but it's also going to go ahead and keep the B.A.R very low profile to the wall, thus making it less cosmetically unappealing and also eliminate any possibility of people bumping into it if it is placed on the wall in an area that does have some level of traffic. You're also going to notice that we painted the B.A.R with a professional powder coated finish. We made it a glossy finish so that it will fit any decor, no matter if it's in your home or your training facility. You're also going to notice that with the B.A.R, we are going to suggest that you place it in a vertical attachment. So let's talk setup for a little bit. Flipping over to this side now, you'll see that I have my B.A.R attached in a vertical position. Why do we suggest vertical? Very simple. By attaching it in a vertical position, you will have the most options for training. It will allow you to train at a high position as well as a low position. It's one of the reasons that we created a 48-inch long band. If you'll notice, my B.A.R is attached so that it covers from my knee all the way to just above my shoulder. Now, what we suggest is, and we will provide these instructions in the packet when you receive your B.A.R, we will suggest covering as much area from your hip below and your hip above to make sure that you have been able to maximize the attachment point of the B.A.R to fit your anatomical needs. So when it comes to setting up the B.A.R, number one, make sure you set it up vertically, and number two, make sure you set it up anatomically to you. Now, if it's in your home, no problem. I have 5 members in my home. Each of them are different height. By placing the B.A.R as we did, we were able to take and allow the B.A.R to fit anybody's needs. So now my youngest daughter, my wife who is 5'6", my daughter who is 5'9", my son who's 6'1", and my oldest daughter who's 5'6", are all able to train on the B.A.R because of the vertical position we have placed it. We will take you through that with your instructions. We will help you cover that when you go in and set the B.A.R up. Now let's talk a little bit about how we designed the B.A.R to make it very easy to set up. First of all, you're going to notice that the B.A.R has 2 screw sights to attach the B.A.R onto the wall. We placed the screw sights in a vertical position to make it very easy for you to not only to get to when you need to go ahead and use a screw to attach the B.A.R onto the wall, but we placed them in a vertical position so that you would easily be able to find a stud on the wall and be able to attach it into the wall very quickly. Most B.A.Rs like this that you try to substitute in as attachment sites are going to have horizontally positioned screw holes Therefore, it becomes very difficult to hit a stud on both of them, which results in then not being able to stabilize the bar onto a stud efficiently and effectively. Remember, this bar is going to have a lot of tension placed on it when you start training on bands. You want to make sure that that is firmly attached into a stud with the appropriate hardware which we provide you. So when you place the bar up onto the wall, essentially all you're going to need to do is find a stud and place the bar on it, do 2 pilot holes to drill in, pop your screws in, and you're good to go and ready to go. It should take you literally 5 minutes or less to attach the bar onto the wall once you have found the site that you want to go ahead and place it on. Now let's talk a little bit about placing the bar. We've already talked a little bit about placing the bar in a vertical position and why you'd want to do that. We've also talked about going ahead and setting it up anatomically to fit your body. Let's also talk a little bit about the area around your bar. First and foremost, you have to determine the type of training that you're going to want to do with bands. If you're going to want to do running type activities, you're going to need a length of distance to go ahead and do that. My suggestion is that you have at least 10 to 12 feet of running distance in front of the bar so that you're able to do running drills if you choose to. I also suggest that when you look at the area around the bar that you provide yourself the ability to go ahead and stretch the band out at least 2 yards, which means that if the band is 41 inches long, you need to add another 72 inches onto that in order to go ahead and stretch the band out a full 2 yards. So by adding 41 and 72, that gives you a minimum distance that you want to be able to go ahead and have around your bar. My suggestion is if you can go a little bit more than that, you should, because you also got to acclimate or accompany for your body, account for your body, and the distance that that's going to take up as well. So that said, my room and the bar here is attached in a room that allows me about 14 feet of distance running and approximately 8 to 10 feet of distance on the sides of the bar, so that allows me to go ahead and have plenty of room to train. Now, let's also talk about low traffic areas. If you can place the bar in a low traffic area where there's not going to be a lot of people coming through, it's going to be less likely to be noticed, and it's also going to be less likely to be bumped if people are walking through. So we suggest as low a traffic area as possible when going ahead and placing the bar up. We also suggest taking a look at your training surface. You know, if you're going to go ahead and put it in your basement, you're going to want to make sure that there are no cracks in the floor, because if you're doing any kind of running drills, the last thing you want to do is catch your foot on that. We suggest if you can go with a carpet, go with a very tight Berber carpet. If you have the ability to place it on a rubber floor, go ahead and place it on a rubber floor, understanding that as you sweat and as you train, you want to make sure that floor doesn't become slippery. I found that a tight Berber carpet or some type of floor turf or sport turf is always the best way to go. However, if you're in your home, carpet's probably going to be your best option. Now, if you have a floor down or cement floor down and you're going ahead and looking at how can I go ahead and train on that, you might want to look at getting some type of square piece of carpeting that you can train on, and then making sure that you firmly attach it down on the ground so that when you start running on it and changing direction, you go ahead and make sure that that floor and that carpet stays in place. You want to make sure, as we talked about, that you set the bar up anatomically to your body or to the person in your family that best fits the bar so that you're able to accompany everybody. The last thing you want to think about is, do you want to go ahead and attach 2 bars? Now I'm going to talk to you shortly in a different video about attaching 2 bars. But what you want to do is when you're attaching your single bar up, you want to consider, is there another area in the room that I want to go ahead and attach a second bar to? So there you have it, the bar. It was exclusively designed for flat, continuous looped resistance band training. It's been engineered and tested by myself as well as others to make sure that this bar truly is going to perform the way we want it to perform. The facts are in. The bar is performed the way we want, and it is the best and most perfect way to go ahead and do attached band training.